What if I told you love isn't something that just happens to you? It's something you choose every single day. Feelings fade, sparks dim, and emotions change, but the relationships that last are built on choices, not moods. Every moment you decide whether to walk away or to build something stronger. And the truth is, those choices don't just shape your relationship, they shape the legacy you leave behind. So ask yourself, what story are your choices writing about your love? Tram, welcome to Connected Souls. I'm Leila Hormozi, here to help you heal, grow, and thrive in love. Love is often portrayed as something spontaneous, uncontrollable, and purely emotional, but the truth is that relying only on feelings makes it fragile and unpredictable. When people expect love to always feel exciting, they set themselves up for disappointment because emotions naturally fluctuate with time and circumstances. The warmth of the early days may feel like a fire that burns brightly, but just like any fire, it requires attention, fuel, and intentional care to keep it alive. The mistake many make is assuming that once the initial intensity fades, the love is gone, when in reality, it is only transitioning into something deeper. Real strength in love comes not from chasing fleeting emotions, but from the conscious decision to nurture the bond when it feels less effortless. Feelings are powerful, but they cannot carry the weight of an entire relationship without deliberate action to support them. The beauty of love is not just in its spark, but in the choice to protect and grow it when the spark dims. Every relationship faces moments of silence, misunderstandings, and ordinary days, and it is in those times that choice matters more than feelings. A decision to stay, to try, and to invest gives love its durability far beyond what emotions alone can sustain. Every person has experienced days when their mood shifts unexpectedly, sometimes for reasons beyond their control, and those shifts directly affect how they interact with others. If love were only about emotions, then every argument, stressful day, or setback would pose a serious threat to the bond between two people. But when love is treated as a choice, it becomes steady even through emotional turbulence. I trust myself to love means that on the days when joy feels distant, commitment fills the gap and steadies the foundation. It is not about pretending negative emotions do not exist, but about refusing to let them dictate the depth of connection. This choice requires maturity because it asks one to look beyond immediate feelings and prioritize what matters in the long run. Just as storms do not define the climate of an entire season, moments of anger or sadness should not define the whole relationship. By anchoring love and choice, people give themselves permission to weather storms without the fear of losing everything they have built. In this way, love transforms from a fragile emotion into a resilient promise that can endure hardship. The decision to love again and again is what builds security. When two individuals first come together, emotions feel magical, and the energy of those feelings can be intoxicating. But eventually, the newness fades, and what remains is an invitation to choose whether to continue building or to step away. Many confuse the fading of initial intensity with the loss of love itself, but that is only a misunderstanding of its true nature. Love matures into something richer when people decide to stay consistent, even when the highs and lows of emotions shift. The greatest evidence of love is not in the butterflies at the beginning, but in the loyalty shown through ordinary days. Choosing to love when it feels less exciting proves the depth of commitment far more than easy moments ever could. It is a sign of strength to continue showing kindness, patience, and care even when emotions are not pushing one in that direction. This is where love becomes a conscious act of creation rather than a passive experience of feelings. Every day offers opportunities to reaffirm that choice through small actions. Over time, these choices accumulate and shape the foundation of a lasting relationship. Feelings often encourage the beginning of love, but they were never designed to carry its entirety. Just as enthusiasm may spark the start of a journey, but discipline ensures it continues. Emotions light the flame while choice keeps it alive. The mistake many make is chasing the constant high of early feelings, which inevitably leads to disappointment when reality sets in. Take it back. True satisfaction comes not from seeking endless excitement, but from building stability through intentional choices. In times of conflict, emotions often push toward walking away or lashing out, but choice redirects the heart toward patience and resolution. In moments of stress, emotions may create distance, but choice bridges that gap with presence and effort. These conscious acts transform love from a fleeting emotion into a lifelong partnership of growth. Every time someone chooses to stay, to forgive, or to understand, they reinforce the bond with strength. Without choice, love would collapse under the natural weight of human imperfection. With choice, love becomes unshakable, even when emotions shift like the tides. There is a unique freedom in realizing that love is not at the mercy of temporary feelings, but within the control of deliberate decisions. People are often told that they cannot help who they love, but the deeper truth is that they cannot sustain love without choosing it daily. When one takes ownership of love as a choice, they stop waiting for feelings to dictate their actions. This awareness removes the fear that love will disappear the moment emotions change because choice provides a stronger anchor. Feelings may fluctuate with time, but choice creates continuity, stability, and growth. Every day becomes an opportunity to prove that love is not passive but active, not fragile but resilient. The strength of a relationship does not lie in how people feel in their best moments, but in how they respond in their weakest ones. This responsibility may sound heavy, but it is actually empowering because it places love within the realm of personal control. One can choose patience over frustration, back, presence over neglect, and forgiveness over resentment. These daily choices accumulate into a love story that is enduring rather than fleeting. Love is often thought of as something effortless, if it only thrives when the circumstances are perfect and emotions remain constant. But true love asks for more than just enjoying the good moments. It requires discipline, consistency, and intentional effort. Back, without deliberate action, love risks becoming passive, left at the mercy of changing moods and daily pressures. Choosing love means recognizing that it is a practice. Back, something that demands attention even when it feels inconvenient. It is easy to be affectionate when everything flows smoothly, but the test of love comes when life brings challenges and tension. Back, patience becomes necessary when emotions push toward frustration, and forgiveness becomes vital when mistakes appear. Back, love is not just the comfort of agreement, but the courage to work through differences with kindness and respect. Every act of intentional care, no matter how small, is a decision to strengthen the connection rather than allow it to weaken. This daily choice transforms love into something far greater than a fleeting emotion. By treating love as intentional action, back, one gives it the structure it needs to last. Discipline in love does not mean forcing feelings or suppressing emotions. It means creating habits that nurture connection regardless of emotional fluctuations. Just as health improves with consistent choices like eating well and exercising, relationships grow through consistent acts of care and attention. Even when the heart feels tired, choosing to listen, communicate, back, or show kindness keeps the bond alive. This discipline protects love from the instability of emotions, which can be influenced by stress, fatigue, or external circumstances. Intention ensures that love does not fade in the background of life's business. Instead, it becomes an active priority, woven into daily routines and reinforced through conscious decisions. Back, love thrives when it is consistently fed, not only during moments of passion, but also in the simplicity of everyday life. A kind word, a small gesture, or an act of support during difficulty can hold more power than grand declarations. When effort is applied with consistency, it creates trust, and trust becomes the backbone of lasting love. Over time, back, these repeated actions carve out a bond that cannot easily be broken. Intentional action in love also requires selflessness, a willingness to put the relationship above temporary desires or ego-driven impulses. In moments of disagreement, the natural response may be to defend, argue, or withdraw, but love calls for something deeper. It requires the choice to listen when one would rather speak, back, to understand when one would rather react, and to forgive when pride resists. These actions are not always easy, but they are what make love meaningful. Without discipline, conflict can erode the bond, but with intentional effort, conflict becomes a tool for growth and deeper understanding. Choosing patience instead of anger or compassion instead of judgment reflects love at its strongest. The effort to rise above selfish impulses and prioritize the relationship reinforces commitment. Love, in this sense, is not about perfection, but about persistence. Choosing again and again to work for the bond even when it feels difficult. This consistent discipline transforms love into a space where growth, trust, back, and intimacy can flourish. By being intentional, one creates an environment where love feels safe and enduring. The reality is that feelings alone are unpredictable. Back, they rise and fall depending on countless variables beyond control. If love depended solely on these feelings, it would be unstable, collapsing whenever emotions shifted. Back, intentional action serves as the stabilizing force, ensuring love is not lost during temporary storms. Discipline means continuing to invest even when the spark seems faint or when energy feels low. Just as a garden needs care during every season, relations need consistent nurturing regardless of whether the atmosphere feels exciting or dull. Love grows deeper when both individuals show up, back, not just in moments of passion, but in moments of silence, struggle, and ordinary routine. These are the times when love's true foundation is built, because they reveal commitment rather than convenience. By making choices rooted in discipline, people affirm that love is more valuable than the changing weather of emotions. It becomes clear that intentional action is the thread that holds the fabric of love together. Without it, feelings alone would unravel under the pressure of life. Discipline in love also involves sacrifice, which does not mean losing oneself, but rather making thoughtful decisions that prioritize the relationship. Sometimes this means setting aside personal comfort to show support, or giving time and attention when one would prefer solitude. These sacrifices, when made intentionally, communicate care and loyalty in ways words cannot. Love flourishes when both people understand that their choices affect not just themselves, but the bond they share. Intentional sacrifice builds mutual respect, back, showing that the relationship is worth more than temporary convenience. These decisions may seem small in the moment, but over time they accumulate into a powerful expression of devotion. Back, love is sustained not by dramatic moments of passion, but by the quiet consistency of choosing each other again and again. Even in the face of personal discomfort, the discipline of love ensures the bond remains strong. Sacrifice, when rooted in love, is not a burden but a demonstration of commitment. Back, this willingness to prioritize the relationship strengthens it against future challenges. When love is treated as a daily choice rather than a fleeting feeling, it begins to carry a weight that stretches far beyond the moment. Each decision to forgive, to stay patient, back, or to offer kindness lays a stone in the foundation of something that can outlast the shifting tides of emotions. These small choices may not seem extraordinary in the present, but they accumulate into a powerful legacy over time. Feelings can ignite passion, but choices are what shape trust, resilience, and security in a relationship. Get back. The most meaningful connections are not those that remain easy forever, but those that are intentionally nurtured through effort. When love is chosen consistently, it becomes a source of strength that others can feel and draw inspiration from. It shows that love is not about waiting for the perfect conditions, but creating them through daily commitment. By choosing love, individuals demonstrate that it is possible to build something lasting in a world where so much feels temporary. This commitment does not just impact the couple, but ripples outward into families and communities. Love as a choice creates a legacy that inspires others to value depth over convenience. Every relationship is observed by others, whether consciously or not. And the way two people choose to love becomes an example that can guide those around them. Children watch how parents navigate conflict. Friends notice how respect is maintained during difficult times. In community sense, when loyalty stands firm despite challenges. These observations become silent lessons that shape the way others view love. A relationship sustained through intentional choices becomes more than private. It becomes a blueprint for others to follow. The decision to love with consistency teaches that loyalty and commitment are possible even in a culture that often glorifies instant gratification. Choosing love shows that lasting bonds are not accidents, but the result of repeated effort and responsibility. This kind of love leaves an impression long after the immediate emotions fade, becoming part of the story that others carry into their own lives. The ripple effect of these choices proves that personal commitment can transform into collective inspiration. A legacy of love is not only remembered, but it is lived through the actions of those who witnessed it. When love is viewed only as a feeling, it risks being confined to moments of happiness, passion, or comfort. But when it is seen as a choice, it expands into every season of life. Choosing love during hardship shows resilience. Choosing love in silence shows patience. And choosing love in conflict shows strength. These decisions become a record of values lived out through action. Over time, the history of those choices creates something enduring, a narrative of perseverance and devotion that defines the relationship. Unlike feelings that vanish with time, these choices leave an imprint on character and legacy. People may not remember every moment of joy, but they will remember the consistency of love shown in difficult times. This constancy becomes the thread that ties generations together, teaching that love is not dependent on convenience, but on courage. By consciously choosing love, one not only protects the present, but also invests in the future. These intentional decisions shape a legacy that outlives the emotions of any single day. A love as a choice has the power to reshape the meaning of commitment, proving that stability is not the absence of challenge, but the persistence to stay through it. In moments of trial, the easy path is often to step away or to let frustration dictate the course of action. But when love is treated as an intentional decision, walking away is no longer the default. Instead, effort becomes the answer. Each choice to stay present during difficulty deepens the bond, proving its strength to withstand adversity. This resilience becomes a legacy for those who come after, showing that love can remain strong even when life is unpredictable. The legacy of love is not built in moments of ease, but in moments where choice outweighed impulse. By deciding to prioritize connection over separation, individuals demonstrate the extraordinary power of perseverance. This does not erase the challenges, but it transforms them into stepping stones for growth. In doing so, that love becomes something that not only survives, but inspires. The choice to love through difficulty is what ensures the bond becomes timeless. The beauty of choosing love daily is that it creates a sense of trust and safety, which extends beyond the relationship itself. Families built on chosen love become places of stability where children grow with confidence, and knowing they are surrounded by consistency. Communities strengthened by chosen love become examples of loyalty and unity. This impact shows that the decision to love is not only personal, but also profoundly social. When people choose love instead of resentment, division, or indifference, they contribute to a culture of compassion. This culture becomes the legacy that outlasts individuals, influencing generations in ways they may never fully see. The ripple of one choice can travel farther than expected, shaping values in ways that are remembered long after emotions fade. Each act of chosen love reinforces the idea that relationships are worth effort, worth patience, and worth loyalty. These actions prove that love is not fragile, but enduring when intentionally nurtured. A legacy of love becomes a beacon that others look to when their own storms arrive. It is a reminder that even in a fleeting world, some things can remain unshakable. The truth is that feelings, while beautiful, are not strong enough to sustain the weight of a lifelong bond. They inspire and ignite, but without choice, they vanish as quickly as they came. Choice, on the other hand, transforms love into something lasting. Something remembered not only for its passion, but for its resilience. Every decision to show up, forgive, and remain loyal builds a record of love that can inspire others long after the moments themselves have passed. A legacy of love does not come from chasing fleeting highs, but from building foundations that can withstand lows. It comes from proving through action that love is more than a passing emotion. It is a conscious act that carries meaning. This kind of love writes a story not just for the present, but for the future. One that becomes an inheritance of values for others. To choose love is to invest in something larger than oneself, something that transcends time and circumstance. The final truth is clear. When love is chosen consistently, it transforms from a temporary feeling into a lasting legacy. It becomes the most powerful gift one can leave behind. If this touched your heart, don't forget to subscribe and join our soul family.